Welcome back to Crumble It Live. This week I'm going to show you how to make some seared scallops with sourdough croutons, marinated Wensleydale, red chilli and black olive. So the first step is we're going to make a start on our marinated Wensleydale. So most people would associate a marinated cheese with feta, but we think that due to the unique crumbly texture and creamy taste of our Yorkshire Wensleydale, it makes it work much better. As it sits in the marinade, it's going to imbue all of the subtle and nuanced flavours and be really special on your plate. So we're going to take our Yorkshire Wensleydale and we're going to cut it into cubes. The reason why we're not going to crumble it this time is because we're going to let it sit in the marinade for 2 or 3 days to really take on all of the flavour. So it needs to be slightly bigger than a crumble to really soak up all of the flavour. So once it's cut into cubes, we're going to make a start on our marinade. To do this, we're going to add our basil and parsley into our blender. Our basil for the fragrant spice and our parsley for the clean and elegant taste. Don't worry about the stalks, it's all going to be flavour. Next, we're going to add in a few sprigs of fresh thyme. This is again very fragrant and very earthy, and it's just going to lift it slightly. So the thyme is in, and we're going to pulse this until it's roughly chopped. We've had some torrential rain here in Wensleydale, so all the fields are lush and green and our cows are very happy. Just remember, if we're going too fast, you can find all these recipes next to a fantastic range of produce on our website and online deli, so make sure you check it out. Give us a like, give it a thumbs up, and let us know where you're watching from. Ask us any questions you have, and I'll do my best to answer them. So, back to our marinade. We pulsed it until it's roughly chopped, so it's going to look something like this. And to this, we're going to add our Yorkshire rapeseed oil. The vibrant yellow colour and the subtle taste is going to work wonders and allow all of our herbs and flavours to get to know each other. So we go big on this, it's one of the main flavours in this marinade. Now we're going to add our red chilli. This is quite a nuanced and subtle marinade, so the big flavour of the chilli is going to bring everything together. I've used about half a red chilli here, and I've left the seeds in. But if you don't like spicy food, you can de-seed it to take some of the heat away. So our chilli goes in and we continue to blend. To this, we're going to add some pureed garlic. And finally, we're going to season with some coarse rock salt. This is going to help to grind all our herbs down and bring everything together. Once the blender's done its work, it's going to be vibrant and green, just like this. And you can see how all the colour of the herb has been released. We're going to place our cubed Wensleydale into a bowl. And we're going to spoon over all of our marinade. Now, all the milk we use for our cheese comes from 41 local farms. And together they form the Wensleydale Dairy Producers Group. Our farmers know their cattle very well, And many of them even have names. So we want to mix the cheese and the marinade thoroughly, making sure that it's well covered. Now at home you want to do this 2 or 3 days before you make the dish, and this will allow the cheese to imbue all of the beautiful flavours from your marinade. We're going to set that aside. Just remember, you can find all these recipes next to a fantastic range of produce from North Yorkshire and further afield on our online shop in Delhi. Next, we're going to make a start on our sourdough croutons. So we take our loaf of sourdough, and the key here is to cut at interesting angles. Nothing is going to be regular and nothing is going to be the same. This is going to be a counterpoint to the uniform cubes of Wensleydale and add some real flair and drama to our cooking. Our farmers work hard up here in the Dales, and they work 365 days a year to ensure that the cows are happy and well fed. We firmly believe that happy cows make better milk, which is better for our cheese. So, back to our croutons. Once they're cut, we want to place them into a bowl. And we want to cover them with Yorkshire rapeseed oil. Again, this is going to add a vibrant colour and allow them to caramelise nicely. Next, we're going to season well with sea salt. I've used sourdough here, but you could equally use some nice wholemeal bread or some granary bread. And if you're feeling really adventurous, why not try and make your own sourdough at home? It's not that hard. So, back to our croutons. We're going to mix them thoroughly so they take on all of the Yorkshire rapeseed oil. We're then going to pick in some sprigs of fresh thyme. Just remember, feel free to ask me your questions and I'll do my best to answer them, and let us know where you're watching from. Just had a comment here from Chris Saunders, who's watching from Canterbury. Hi Chris, we hope you enjoyed today's dish. So, once our croutons are mixed, we're going to work them some more. And all this movement is going to make sure that all the salt, garlic and thyme are going to really be absorbed by these croutons. And these are going to taste fantastic when they're done. Once they're mixed, we're going to place them in the oven. And as always, our oven wants to be at about 180. So we're going to place these onto a hot tray. I'm sure you can hear in the background our milk tankers arriving. These bring all our milk to us from local farms, which gets turned into the fantastic cheese that we make. So the croutons go into the oven. Now we're going to make a start on preparing our scallops. I've used scallops here for this dish, but you could equally use king prawns or even some nice smoked salmon. They can be quite hard to source scallops, especially on lockdown, but as things start to return to some sense of normality, we're seeing many fish counters opening back in supermarkets. Most of these will carry scallops. There's also several online suppliers where you can order them right to your door. So with a bit of effort, you should be able to source them. Just remember, keep your questions coming and I'll do my best to answer them. Now, scallops can be quite intimidating to cook. But if you follow the golden rules, they're actually very easy. And the golden rules are as follows. The first thing we want is a nice hot pan. So preheat your pan 2 or 3 minutes before you start to cook them. This is going to make sure that they caramelise evenly and don't stew. If they stew, they'll be rubbery. So these are king scallops, and as you can see, these are so fresh they have the roe left on. We want to gently with our fingers, remove this roe. We use our fingers and not a knife because they're so delicate that a knife can often damage the scallops. Your fingers are a lot softer, so it works a lot better. Just remember, you can find all these recipes next to a fantastic range of products on our online deli and shop, so please check it out. So the next step to good scallops is they have to be completely dry. And again, this is so they caramelise nicely and don't stew or go tough. And to do this, we want to place them on a lime tray, which is going to absorb all the excess moisture. And we want to turn them and pat them dry, making sure that all the moisture has been removed. Once they're completely dry, we then want to season with rock salt. We do this for two reasons. The first is for taste, and the second is the salt will continue the removal of the moisture. So we season our scallops on both sides. And again, they are a high-risk food, so make sure that you prepare them in a separate area to your raw food, and you have clean hands. So, our scallops are seasoned nicely. Now we're going to start to cook them. To our hot pan, we want a little bit of veg oil, not too much. So the veg oil is in. Next, we're going to add our scallops. We're going to spread them evenly around the pan so the pan holds its heat. And you'll hear the sizzle when they go in. This tells you that your pan is hot enough. Now, depending on size, these scallops are going to take about 3 to 5 minutes to cook. And we want to turn them regularly to ensure a lovely caramelisation. And because we have removed the moisture by patting them dry and seasoning them well, mine are already starting to caramelise wonderfully. Next, we're going to add a whole wedge of lemon to our pan. We do this because it's going to form part of our garnish, and it's also going to perfume the scallops with smoky lemon, so the lemon goes in. We're turning our scallops again, and we're starting to see a wonderful golden colour. Just remember, if we're going too fast, you can find all these recipes on our website, so please check them out. So, our scallops are now done. They don't take long. They're a very delicate piece of shellfish, and you have to treat them with the utmost respect. And you can see here the beautiful golden caramelisation we've achieved. Next, we remove our charred lemon. Now we're going to check on our sourdough croutons and start to assemble the dish. So, our sourdough croutons are ready, and notice the lovely golden colour. Now the secret to good croutons is, don't cook them until they're completely hard. Let them be a bit soft. This is going to mean they're a lot nicer to eat, and they're going to retain all of the lovely flavours we've put in them. So the first step is we're going to place our croutons in the bowl. And the interesting angles that we cut earlier on are going to add some real height. Next, we're going to add our Marinated Wensleydale. And again, most people associate a marinated cheese with feta, but we believe the unique properties of our Yorkshire Wensleydale works a lot better. Just remember, at home, you want to make these a few days in advance to let all the flavours imbue into the cheese. And as always, we serve our cheese at room temperature. to make sure we get the best flavour. So we spoon our marinade and our Yorkshire Wensleydale in between our croutons. The smell from this marinade is absolutely incredible, and the colours are fresh and vibrant. We spoon some of the oil and we run it around our plate. Just remember, in cooking we're looking for juxtaposition and counterpoint, and the crunchy croutons and the soft cheese are going to work together beautifully. Next we're going to take our red chilli and we're going to cut it on the angle. This fiery heat is going to tie everything together. We're also going to add black olives. All these flavours are nuanced and subtle, and they're going to marry together very well. The sweet delicateness of the scallops, the saltiness of the olive, and the crunch of the sourdough croutons. So, we take our charred lemon and we place it in the middle of our dish. We take our scallops and we lay them around the lemon in a circle. Now, Wensleydale and scallops are quite an unusual combination, but when you try it, I think you'll agree that it's heavenly. So our scallops are on, and we're noticing the lovely caramelised golden colour. Next, with the utmost care, we're going to lay our chilli. This is going to taste well, and the vibrant, vivid red is going to add some real flair to our plate. We want to place it gently. Next, we're going to take the olives and lay them gently around the plate. All these flavours are going to marry together nicely and make for a fantastic plate of food. This would be great to eat outside in your garden or for a luxury brunch. Next, we're going to garnish with some pea shoot tendrils. These again are a very sweet garnish and are going to look fantastic with a plate of food. You can use any salad that you have to hand in the house. We want to place these around our scallops, making sure the fantastic golden colour we have is visible. And finally, to finish, a crumble of our Yorkshire Wensleydale cheese. The creamy flavour is going to bring everything together and tie the dish in nicely. So, I'm going to bring it round to the camera to show you. Here we have it: seared scallops, sourdough croutons, marinated Wensleydale. Thanks for tuning in to Crumble It, and check out our website for more recipe ideas. Thank you.